Hi students, myself Tanmoy Dotto, Assistant Professor, Department of Chemistry, JS College of Engineering, welcome you all in the class of Greenhouse Effect and Global Warming. You know, this greenhouse effect is the main problem nowadays. That's why the average temperature of the earth is gradually increasing, and you know there are different kinds of problems are arised due to the increasing temperature of the earth. Like you know, the sea levels are increasing. Why? Because the icebergs are gradually melting. Okay, so in this way we have to know, or today we will discuss about that what are the main reasons behind the greenhouse effect or the global warming. So first of all, you have to understand what is the greenhouse effect. Okay, so greenhouse effect is a naturally occurring phenomena that is responsible for heating of earth surface. So this is the naturally occurring phenomena which actually responsible for heating the earth surface of and the or the atmosphere, temperature of the atmosphere. And what is the global warming? Global warming is the result of greenhouse effect. So these two are very much interrelated with each other. That means a global warming is the result of the greenhouse effect. Okay, so mainly there are some greenhouse gases which are mainly responsible for the increasing temperature of the earth. That means the greenhouse gases are trapping heat and light from the sun and in the earth atmosphere, which increases the temperature and heating the earth. So that means what is the greenhouse effect or the global warming? That there are some gases, greenhouse gases mainly. I will discuss about these gases. That these kind of gases absorb or the trap the heat from which is coming from the sun, and due to that heat gradually temperature of the earth surface is increasing. Now what is the greenhouse? Do you know what is the greenhouse? Okay, this looks like a small glass house and is used for the growing plants, especially in winter season. Okay, so if a greenhouse, the glass panel lets the light but does not allow the heat to escape, therefore greenhouse warms up. That means why the name is like that, that greenhouse gases. This the kind of question may arise in your mind. So actually there are some kinds of glass houses are there. This is the glass houses where heat can enter into the or sunlight or heat can enter into the into the house, but it not the coming out from the house. That means the house this is the bag of the heat. Okay, that means the heat is dim there's no scope of further escaping from the house. That's why the temperature of the greenhouse will be gradually increasing. So this is the concept of the greenhouse that already exists in our, or we actually made this kind of greenhouse for our purpose, but same kinds of phenomena naturally occur. Okay, so like heat can enter into the earth, but it will not escape from the earth. That's why gradually the temperature of the earth is increasing in the same manner. That's why it is called the greenhouse effect. Okay, now what are the causes of the greenhouse gas, or what are the greenhouse gases mainly? So if you consider that greenhouse gas, the primary greenhouse gas is the carbon dioxide. So this is very very important, and this is the main culprit gas which is mainly responsible for the greenhouse effect. Okay, then methane is also responsible, some nitrogen oxides are also responsible, and finally fluorinated gases are also responsible. Some water vapors are also responsible, some kinds of. Okay, so these are mainly main gases which are mainly responsible for the greenhouse effect. Now greenhouse gases reflect the radiation from the earth and stop it from being lost into space. This causes the earth temperature to be higher than its normal temperature. Okay, that means that if it is the earth and the greenhouse gases, what happen this with increasing the greenhouse gases, when sunlight come into the earth, it can enter easily, but it will not be not escape from the earth surface or the atmosphere. Okay, so in this way the temperature of the earth, this is gradually increasing. So relative contribution of the gases, so what I told you, that major contribution of the of if there is then carbon dioxide is the major contribution. Other small other gases has a small contribution, CFC also there, methane also there, etc, etc. Okay, these are the main greenhouse gases, and from the greenhouse gases you have to keep in mind that there may be some kinds of MCQ question you can expect from here, that there may be some 4 options that there, like you have to choose the right option, that which is actually the greenhouse gas and which is not. So this is the way by which it is actually trapped, the solar radiation process. Okay, so through clear atmosphere, incoming solar radiation, okay, their incoming radiation, it can easily come into the surface, and then what happen, it is the outgoing radiation. Okay, there is no problem, the normal case. But if there greenhouse gas is present, then what happen, if it is the layer of the greenhouse gas, if it is a layer of the greenhouse gas, then what happen, the gas again reflected and again reflected to the atmosphere, and again come to the atmosphere. It is not possible to go out to the outside of the atmosphere. That means if the radiation remains in the atmosphere, then what happens, gradually the temperature of the atmosphere that will be increasing gradually. Okay, so this you have to keep in mind. So now this is the flow chart, that what is the role of the greenhouse gas, or what are the effect, adverse effect. So first of all, look here, that the sunlight passes through the atmosphere and the earth surface absorb it. This is the first step. Okay, the sunlight sunlight passes through the atmosphere and the earth surface absorb it. Second, the land heated by the sunlight emit back the heat as infrared rays. Okay, so this is the second step. And third step, the greenhouse gases again absorb the heat, and the part of heat towards the ground, and it hits the earth surface and the lower atmosphere again. So in this way the greenhouse gases absorb the heat, and ultimately what happen, the temperature of the earth, this will be gradually, this is gradually increasing. Why greenhouse gases are very much dangerous? First of all, you know that global warming, this is the main problem, because it is a result of the greenhouse gas. Then endangered species, there are some kinds of endangered species also there, which are gradually disappearing, and also the climate change. Nowadays, this is a important, very important fact, that gradually the climate of the earth, this is changing. Okay, so climate change also another factor which are also responsible. There's some greenhouse gases are there which are a little bit responsible for this kind of climate change. Okay, now global warming, the change in the global temperature brought about by the greenhouse effect, of which is induced by enhanced greenhouse gases into the air. This can be termed as the global warming, what I told you. So this is the global warming, and this is by the global warming that what is happening, there is the increasing the temperature of the earth gradually. So now causes of the global warming, come to the fact that why global warming, the why this kind of gases are producing or like that. So first of all, look there, that deforestation, this is the main reason, or the major it has the major effect on the global warming, that the climate change is a very, very severe outcome of excessive cutting down of trees. It results in an increase the amount of carbon and other greenhouse gases in the environment. You know the plants are very important things, because the plants purify the air, one type of these things are. Okay, so if we cut down the plants gradually, or if we destroy the forest, then what happen, the amount of greenhouse gases will be increasing in the atmosphere. That's why what happened ultimately, the global warming will be increased, or if the global warming will be increased, then what happened, the temperature of the earth will be increased gradually. And for this reason, actually after some years, there will be the sea level will be very high, and the for human being or the for animal world, it will be very much dangerous for to the earth, okay, for the earth. So now the greenhouse gases, I told you already that greenhouse gases are the gases which trap the solar radiation and trigger a rise in the temperature level on the planet. Okay, so this is the greenhouse gases. Now there is another causes are also there. Landfill also produce some kinds of greenhouse gases. Mainly when we are discussing about the reasons behind the global warming, then obviously the main reason which we have to think that the generation of the greenhouse gases, because if we reduce the generation of the greenhouse gases, then what happen, automatically global warming will be reduced. So we have to concentrate in this field, that from where the greenhouse gases are produced. So we have to concentrate on this area, and we have to reduce, we have to take some steps by which we can reduce the generation of the greenhouse gases. So first of all, look here that there's another things also. This is the landfill. Okay, so landfill, due to landfill, you know that landfill also produce the greenhouse gases, both by methane and methane gas escaping and by burning the waste to save the space of the landfill. So in this way, this is a main problem. I think all of you very much familiar with this kind of things. This is the major pollution which is coming from this kind of things. So, and from there there's some kinds of greenhouse gases are also produced, okay, due to this landfill. Another thing is that pollution is a series of threat to the environment, and it is mainly culprit for global warming. Okay, so different kinds of pollutions are mainly responsible. So starting from it is one of the causes of the greenhouse effect, which traps the sun heat and does not let it escape. So different kinds of smokes are coming from the industries, you know, that smokes are also there, it carries some kinds of greenhouse gases. So it also increase the percentage of the greenhouse gases in the atmosphere, which also affect the global warming. Now come to the fact that what are the consequences of the global warming. Okay, so look at this picture. I think all of you understand very clearly that what is the inner meaning of the picture. So here actually that the ice are gradually melting, okay, and like polar bears, there is a very much they are very much dangerous situation, okay, and maybe after some years they become the endangered species. Okay, so that's why we have to concentrate more here, because if the ice melts with time, then not only it will be very much dangerous for this kind of species, but also for us, because there are some sea level which are gradually increasing, and there may be some lands at that time. After some years, the land will be under the water. Okay, so not only this kind of species, if for us also we have to think, and if we on the other hand, if we do not concentrate this kind of species, then obviously there will be some effect on the ecosystem, and that's why then a different kind of problem arise from the ecosystem. Okay, so first of all, the consequence of the global warming on weather pattern. Okay, so you know that more powerful and more the dangerous that hurricanes which happen nowadays. Okay, that warmer water in the ocean pumps more energy into the tropical storms, making them stronger and potentially more destructive. So this is the one of the effect. I think all of you know this situation, that there is different kinds of storms are nowadays coming with frequently. Okay, so this is the indirect effect of the obviously global warming. Droughts and the wildfire. You know, wildfire is very much common. A few days ago, you know, there's a big wildfire in the Amazon forest also, Australia also. Okay, So I think you are familiar these things this news with this news that warmer temperature could increase the probability of drought and greater evaporation parts, particularly during summer and fall could the drought condition, and also increase the risk of the wildfires. Okay, so these things are very much problem. It can create the problem regarding drought and the wildfire. Okay, so then another thing is that intense the rainstorms. Okay, that warmer temperatures increase the energy of the climatic system and can lead to heavier rainfall in some areas. Scientists project that climate change will increase the frequency of heavy rainstorms, putting many communities at a risk for devastation from the floods. So this is also another problem, that when there is a huge amount of rain in a particular place, so it causes some kinds of floods, and if there is no rain, then it causes the drought. So different kinds of them, that means the balance of the ecosystem, balance on the earth, balance on the atmosphere, that all the things are gradually destroying due to the increasing of the temperature or the global warming. So we have to concentrate all these facts if we want to survive on. Now another thing is that what I told you, that ecosystem shifts and species die of different kinds of species have become endangered species. Okay, so increasing global temperature are expected to disrupt the ecosystem, obviously. Okay, pushing extinction those species and that cannot adapt. Okay, so because there are some kinds of animals are there, some kinds of species are there, which also face some kinds of problems with this increasing temperature, because if the temperature is increasing, it become very much it creates some kinds of problem for this kind of species to adapt with the nature, with the atmosphere. So that's why this is another problem regarding the ecosystem. Okay, so that another thing is that US Geological Survey has predicted that 2/3 of the world's polar bear subpopulation will be extinct by mid-century due to melting of ice caps. Okay, so this is the very important information and alarming also. Not only important, it is very much alarming, because if the in the mid-century the 2/3 of the world's polar bear will be destroyed. Okay, or will be died actually. So due to the melting of the ice caps. Okay, this is another very alarming situation. Approximately 20 of 30% of plant and the animal species assessed so far are likely to be at increased risk of the extinction, or if global average temperature increases by more than 2.7 to 4.5 degree Fahrenheit. So this is also another alarming situation which is very much related with the global warming. The consequence of the global warming on the glaciers and the sea levels, what you see, I think from the picture it is very much clear. Look at the picture, that gradually the ice or the ice melts, or it converts to the water, and the sea level is increasing. Okay, so rising global temperature will speed up the melting of glaciers, okay, and the ice caps, okay, and cause early ice thaw on the rivers and lakes. Okay, so this is the very another alarming situation, and according to NASA, that the polar ice cap is now melting at the alarming rate of 9% per decade. Okay, so Arctic ice thickness has decreased 40% since the 1960s. So this situation is also very much related with the global warming, or it is a result of the global warming. Another thing is that that hotter weather enable deadly mosquitoes. This is the another side of the another face of the coin, actually on the side of the coin, that not only the temperature increasing and it directly affect the ice melting or glaciers melting or another things, it also indirectly affect there's so many problems. Okay, that so many problems are arised due to this increasing the temperature. Like here hotter weather enables the deadly mosquito. So this is become very much dangerous. Nowadays there in dengue, there are so many people died during the season of dengue. Okay, when dengue spread or outbreak occurred, and then what happened, this kind of many people died in this disease. So actually what is this another indirect effect of the global warming, that hotter weather enable the deadly mosquitoes to travel greater distance, carbon dioxide in the air. Okay, so asthma, allergies is all problem creates by the gas. Okay, so deadly heat waves, this is the another problem, that more frequently and severe heat waves will result in a greater number of heat related deaths. Bad air, allergy and asthma, this is the another problem with increasing the temperature, that global warming could increase the smoke. Okay, I already discussed in one class that what is the smoke pollution in some areas and the intensify pollen allergies and asthma. Nowadays this is a common disease. Okay, that so many people are suffering from such kind of disease like asthma, like breathing problem, like different kind of pollen allergies. So these all are the indirect effect of the global warming, because if you think about the few years back, okay, or 20 to 25 years back, then what was the weather at that time, and now what is the weather? There is a major changes occur in this duration. Why? Because the increasing the temperature of the earth, with increasing the temperature of the earth, all the other scenarios are also changing. Infectious disease and food and waterborne illness outbreak. So these are another things. Okay, so various types of disease and warming temperature, alternating periods of drought and whatever flood, whatever the problem there's an arised, and with this there are different kinds of disease and the waterborne illness also become very much problematic. It creates the different kinds of problems. And the dangerous weather events, a warmer atmosphere can hold one dump more moisture, contributing to more intense extreme weather events, which in turn put people's lives at risk. So these all are the effects of the global warming. Okay, so this is the view of the global warming. The what is happening nowadays. This is a very pathetic picture if you understand clearly. Then what is the scenario? Look here. Okay, so this is not the theoretical situation, this is the practical situation. So that's why we should be very much careful at that time. Otherwise after 50 years or 70 years, then what happened we don't know, because the earth will be suitable for the living being or not, we don't know if we continue, if the situation is continued. Okay, so already the situation is very very alarming. Okay, so if we do not stop to generate or do not control it properly, then it will not be possible to control the global warming. Now look, this is the another pathetic situation. So previously there was in this area, previously in this area, look here, that in this area previously there was the iceberg. Okay, iceberg, but nowadays what happened, it totally ice melts. Okay, and this ice, the melting of the ice produce some water, and look the picture of the earth surface. Okay, so it is actually 1980 and 2003 what changes occur of the same area. Look here, up to this region there was the ice. Okay, but in 2003, look the picture. Okay, now the scenario it is a 2020, the scenario will be very very changed at that time. So how rapidly ice is melting, we have to think about, otherwise it will not be possible to survive on this earth. Okay, so this is the scenario that different kinds of problems, like not only it is limited to the polar bear or like human being, there is an effect on the aquatic lives also. Look, there's an aquatic life, so these also affected by this kind of the global warming. Okay, so different kinds of aquatic lives are also disappeared due to this problem. Another, there, look here, their water sea level, their sea levels are increasing. This is the another problem. This is we have to fight against this problem. Okay, more consequences, that species becoming endangered or the extinct. What I told you, that there are there are so many species are there which gradually disappeared due to this global warming. The heavy droughts are there. There are spread of disease. There spread of disease, heavy droughts, and then rise of tides and the change of weather pattern. Okay, so these become very much, this creates very much problem at that time, and if we do not change the situation, it will not be possible. Now, what is the El Nino? Okay, so El Nino, it is the it is actually abnormal warming of the surface ocean waters in the eastern tropical Pacific. Okay, El Nino, it happens when the surface pressure is high in the eastern tropical Pacific. It is low in the western tropical Pacific, than vice versa. That means if one side is temperature is very high, pressure is very high, and other side it is low, and then their El Nino is generated. Okay, this is the abnormal warming of the surface occur. The major impact of the El Nino are temperature abnormalities, changes in the precipitation variability, floods and droughts, and throughout the world. Okay, so this is the another thing which we have to concentrate more. Now, remedies for the global warming, how we can stop the global warming, or how we can control the global warming. So first of all, afforestation. Okay, afforestation means planting more trees and reducing timber cuts. Okay, that means this is the main problem, which that's why the worldwide there are different kinds of like a World Environment Day we celebrate, or in this way there are different kinds of awareness programs are there, because if we save the trees, then if we do not cut down the trees, then it will help us in different way. That means it is the main remedies to save the world is that more and more trees we have to plant, otherwise there will be no way. So afforestation is the most important thing, or most important way by which we can control the global warming, or we can control several kinds of problems. Okay, then we have to follow the 3 R's. You know that 3 R's are most important in these days. That this is the, we already discussed about the, there is a 4 R's also. With these 3 R's, they reduce, reuse and recycle. Okay, this is the main important thing which we have to follow. If we follow, then we can control their different kinds of problems, and we can solve different kinds of problems. Then use of fuel efficient vehicles, like fuel efficient vehicles should be promoted, as these vehicles have lower emission of the harmful gases. So this is the main problem that we have to use in these days. We have to use more and more renewable energy instead of non-renewable energy, because if we use the renewable non-renewable energy like coal or the fossil fuel, any of the fuel from fossil fuel, that emits some kinds of gases which are very much dangerous for the earth. So our aim is should be that we have to use more and more the renewable energy, renewable resources, and without using the, or less amount using the non-renewable resources. This may be the another remedy for controlling this kind of problems like global warming or like this. Eco-friendly technology or techniques are there. We have to use more and more, like there are some kinds of buildings where the roofs are made by some solar panels, which help to generate some energy, solar energy, which saves the electricity or the burning of the coals, okay, etc, etc. So, and another thing is, the most important thing is that public awareness campaign. This is the most important thing, because now in our country, like the idea that the awareness of the people, poor people who are actually hungry, who are struggling for their food, work like this. So their awareness is very much less, because in this area we have to campaign more and more for the awareness program, public awareness program, okay. So because if we do not spread the awareness, then only it will be limited to our books or syllabus or like that, and it will not be implemented in the real scenario. So in this way we have to control the global. That's all for today. You have to check all the points of the greenhouse gases, how greenhouse gases are produced, how we can control the generation of the greenhouse gases, and how greenhouse gases helps to increase the temperature and causes the global warming. What are the consequences of the global warming? All these points you have to check and you have to read. And that's all for today. Meet with you in the next class with a different topic, and goodbye, take care.